fucking goblin, and I don't care. I do care. I don't know if I care. I do not know if I fucking care. I'm like, shouldn't it be a compliment? Because like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. This retrograde has been retrograding, and I don't particularly like it. I'm not a fan. I'm not fucking fond of it. If I have to renew, like, if I have to get a new credit card one more fucking time, fill in the fucking blanks, babe. Fill in the fucking blanks. Yeah, and the dogs. Can we get the dogs in the background barking? Can we do that? And then also, can my fucking neighbor, even though like a massive thunderstorm just hit, can he mow his lawn? With the looming threat of a fucking torrential downpour, can my neighbor mow his fucking lawn? Okay, great. We can? Okay, good. That's so great that we could squeeze them in at the last moment. If we could get the dogs on this side to go crazy and the neighbor to go crazy on that side at the same time, that would be top tier, like performance. Like, that'd be great. Okay, sweet. Okay, awesome. Dudes, I'm pissed. The fuck is this? Oh, it's a necklace. If I don't find something, I'm gonna lose my mind. Guys, I fucking had it. I've had it. I have had it. I'm done. I'm good. I'm fucking fine. I'm fine. I'm great. This is perfect. Fantastic. Okay, so so many feelings. Mostly pissed off. Second of all, very angry. Third of all, still pissed off. Fourth of all, uh, okay, yeah. Can we get a shot of that? I hope I don't have anything in my teeth because that'll send me. I just ate a salad. That'll send me right to the underworld, straight down to fucking hell, straight down to hell with Hades and all them people down there. Now listen, this was the last straw. Okay, listen. It said like I ordered. Okay, Mercury's in retrograde, and I ordered a corset, and it was supposed to be really pretty. And I was like, okay, cool. It's like got like golden colors. I'm really into gold right now. Whatever. It says delivered in the mailbox. I go to my mailbox. It's not there. I get a second notification from a separate app I have for tracking stuff because I never deleted it, and so it was like, yeah, it's been delivered to your mailbox. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'll go look in my mailbox. It's not there. It's not there. Oh, okay. I get on Amazon because I ordered it through Amazon. And listen, I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, Texas. I'm gonna have to get some stuff off the internet. Don't hate me. And if you do, I don't really give a fuck. Hate me more. And I'll just call in Robinson that shit. Okay. Anyway, so so I get on Amazon. Well, it's not fucking here, bitch. Well, it's not fucking here, bitch. Okay. They're like, oh, well, you'll have to wait 3 more days. 3 more days to find out that you guys suck dick, which I already knew that. It was like no surprise. Like, I'm not disappointed because you guys suck. I'm disappointed because y'all lied to me. the lie, the lie is just that's why. That's why, because you said it was here and it's not, and now I'm disappointed, and now I'm upset, and so whatever. That's not just it. I am so giving otherworldly goblin, gremlin, fucking Brian Froud's goblins. Okay, that's what I'm giving. Okay, I'm giving something that fantasy writers and authors and illustrators doodle. I'm giving otherworldly creature right now. I'm so sorry. I'm giving crawled out of the sewer right now. So sorry. So it's just it's blah, blah, blah. It's been a like okay like since I last talked to you guys. Hey, sorry. So the corset thing pissed me off because it was a really nice corset, very pretty, golden and white and cream and whatever. It's very pretty. So if you get excited, I live in a small town in Texas. I know Jim Bob down the fucking street. If it's been delivered to the wrong house, I will have to send it back and wait more time because he's probably reenacting Silence of the Lambs with it right now. And so, yeah, I'm a little upset. A little angry time. time. I wake up. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to something. I'm not excited. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm confused. What the fuck you mean? It says it's delivered and it's not here. Who do you think you are? Frustrated. Yeah. Yeah. Hormonal. Yeah. Um. So there's been let me break down the smorgasbord, whatever the fuck that word means. Let's put the definition here. Can we get the definition for smorgasbord right here? Whatever that is. So what was I saying? Okay, listen. Let me just break down what's been going on with me. Okay. I'll get into happy stuff in a minute. But listen, can a bitch just vent? Can I get mad? Can we all just get mad real quick? So my credit card got hacked, right? Like credit card got hacked, whatever. We're pretty sure someone has a scanner and they're just scanning cards and like doing dumb shit. I had to get a new card. Then my husband's has been, we didn't even know, been hacked. So he had to get a new credit card. And so it's just been like one dumbass thing after another. So it's like that takes time. That also relies on the mail being reliable. The United States Postal Service being a fucking functioning motherfucking operation, okay? Okay. And so, we have to wait time and it's just that whole thing pissed me off. Credit card hack. And then the corset thing. But there's a third thing. There's a third thing that happened before the fourth thing, which was the corset, which was just done. I'm going to have a little bit of a story time. Okay, so I'm going to be vague in case this person is watching my shit. I pray to God they're not. In case this gets back to them somehow, I hope not. So I'm going to be fucking vague. On the day of the new moon, I was approached at sunset. Oh, let me just set this up for you guys. Me and my kids, we went to a store and we had two shopping carts. We had a couple of them, right? Because my eldest son wanted to go shopping on his own. And so he had a shopping cart full of his stuff. And then we had ours. And so it was sunset. We were leaving the store. I was like, wow, pretty sunset, whatever. It was the new moon. And we get to the car. They hop in. I turn on the AC so they could just chill and I'll put up the groceries, whatever. It's over 100 degrees, right? And humid as fuck. So I'm like, y'all go hang out in the AC. I got this, whatever. So I could split up the groceries, make sure that my eldest son's little haul stays, out of our stuff kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because he's becoming more independent, blah, blah, blah. Well, I hear my name being called from some faraway place in the parking lot. And approaching me is somebody. I don't know if I want to do a gender or not. It's somebody. They are approaching me, this person, and they're saying my name in a very strange way. And I'm looking around and I see them and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Because I do not recognize them at all. I don't recognize them. And they get closer and it's someone from my childhood who I used to be friends with, pretty decent friends with, okay? Till a couple of things happen, some bullshit, right? There is some stuff that happened, lots of stuff that happened, like behind my back that they did that I didn't know about, that they later told me about. And I was like, what? Anyways, so they approach me. They're like, hey, how are you doing? It's been so long. Hurry, blah, blah, blah. I'm shooting the shit with them because I can shoot the shit with anybody. Put anyone in front of me. It could be Charles Manson. I don't give a fuck. Put anyone in front of me and I'll just start cracking jokes, being funny, whatever. Just enthusiastic, charismatic, whatever. It just turns on. I turn on the light and I just kind of blah, 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 shoot the shit. Because I'm still confused as to why this person chased me down to the parking lot. They were like, I saw you walking across and I decided to come chase you down and say hi. Which apparently, maybe it's normal. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I would just be like, oh, there's so-and-so from high school. And then I would go along with my life. Or if they're passing me up and they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? But I don't really go out of my way to stop someone and be like, this is awkward. I knew you. I don't anymore. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing here at this grocery store? So they're like, well, I've been seeing somebody in a band. Basically, they told me that they were having a relationship with somebody in a pretty popular band in a niche area, like a niche popular band, right? For a certain subculture of people, right? They're like, well, I've been having a relationship with this person and they are coming down tomorrow night and I'm going to cook for them and blah, 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 right? And so I'm like, okay. Like, all right, I don't know why like you're telling me this kind of thing, but I'm cracking jokes about other things. I'm asking about this person's life. I'm like, well, are you looking for meals? Because I'm into medieval meals, and so I'm like, well, we're into like stews, but it's hard to find barley, and so blah blah blah. And they were talking about some kind of pie or pudding or something, and I was like, well, are they worried about their cholesterol? Because this person that they're allegedly seeing is quite older than us, and so I'm just like, okay. Are they worried about heart medication? Like, are they watching their, whatever? And they reply, well, they are diabetic. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, stay away from the pies and stuff like that, whatever. And I go on to crack a couple more jokes about other things because that's kind of awkward to just see someone from high school that you haven't really talked to in 15 years and be like, hey, I'm about to go sleep with this guy from this band. He's coming down to see me. And like, so that interaction's over. I crack a couple more jokes about something dumb, something stupid, obviously. Just trying to light in the air because I don't really give a fuck about what's going on. And I'm like, well, hey, let me let you go, kind of thing. Hey, let me let you go, whatever. And we're gonna go and blah blah blah. And they're like, okay, bye, whatever. They walk off. And um, so then that's weird. It was a weird interaction, and I'm a little autistic, so I can't understand why somebody I haven't spoken to in 15 years would chase me down in a parking lot. And maybe it was bragging. I was starting to like piece it together in my own head. Maybe they're bragging. And my husband's working nights, so I waited for him to come home around 4 o'clock in the morning to talk to him about this, to rehash it, just to have a little sit down with some person. I was like, hey, I met blankety blank in the parking lot at HEB. They chased me down to basically tell me that they're going to be sleeping with some guy in a band that's coming down to specifically see them. And like, there was no, at the first, I was like, there's no reason for me to doubt this. And then it got to the point where we were both like, that's, why would you do that? Like, because you just wanted to brag, because you wanted to seem important or something. Like, but I had my kids with me. I had like a couple of shopping carts full of food. And like, that's odd behavior. And so we start tilting our head a little bit. That's a little odd. It's a little weird. And it was a weird time. It was a new moon. It was sunset. It was just peculiar. But then other things start happening. A lot of weird stuff starts happening after that interaction. A lot of like things associated with like maybe somebody has jinxed you or a run of bad luck, let's say. So I start like dinging myself on everything. Things start falling, spilling, tripping. There's like a lot of weird stuff happening. Okay, after that interaction, but I log it away as just coincidence. I'm like, well, whatever, because my logical mind's trying not to be all whatever, whatever. So I tell my husband, he's like, oh, that's a little weird. So I wait the next day and I ask my friend, who she's really good with investigating stuff. It's give her just a name and she's a bloodhound. And so I'm like, hey, can you help me with your like FBI, CIA kind of shit? Can you help me out? And she's like, yeah, what's going on? And so I was like, can I call you? She's like, well, we're having dinner right now. You call me after dinner. So after dinner, she's like, okay, I'm ready for you to call me. I give her a call and I'm like, now I want to be as non-biased. I just want to give you the information. And I would like for us two women to break this down as to what the fuck, And so, and so, yeah. And so, yeah, like, what the fuck? So I tell her exactly what happened, and she goes, that's really fucking weird. And the whole time, she's actually doing Facebook, Instagram. She is diving into this guy's life, and she's like, oh shit, I think he's married. Oh my God, I think he has a kid. Maybe they're divorced. He hasn't posted her in a while. Oh no, I went to his personal Facebook. Yeah, she posted 3 days ago. Oh my God. So it gets deeper. So this guy is married and he's got a new baby, about 4 or 5 years old. And he's allegedly flying down to see this girl I knew from high school to sleep with her and have her cook him a meal. And they've been chatting it up online, apparently, right? So my friend's looking into this while I'm talking to her and telling her the details, the deets of the situation. And she's telling me details of the situation. all of a sudden, this is a situation. This is now possibly a married man that's cheating on his wife and leaving his toddler at home to fly down to some shitty ass town in Texas to get some mid tier strange. Okay. Now he's in a band. He could get strange anytime he wants, especially if he goes on tour, which me and my friend were talking about. We're like, well, wouldn't that be odd? Like, what? That just seems too much for a man of his age to be flying here, there, and whatever, right? And he's about to go on tour in a couple of days. And so, why would he risk flying out from wherever he's at, stay here for a couple of days, and then fly up to where he's supposed to be, and then fly to where he's going to be at? That's a lot for a man of his age. That's it. Look, I'm 30 something, 32. I don't have energy like that. This man is like at least 20, 30 years older than me. I don't think he has that kind of energy. And then, like, he's also kind of heavier. And so he probably doesn't. And so we're getting confused. And perhaps I am confused. Right? I'm like, okay, well, let's not message his wife just yet because let's dig into it more. Okay. So we're like digging into this. And we're starting to think that this person was just lying. And then it got worse. And then it got worse because if this person who had approached me in a fucking grocery store parking lot with me and my children stopped me to make up a whole fucking delusion about how this man from this band is flying down here a couple of days before he goes on tour to get wined and dined by mid-tier strange. Mid-tier strange. Okay? Rando puss, which he's going to be covered in. He's about to go on tour. So if he wanted to cheat on his wife, who apparently he's still with, allegedly, he could. He could absolutely get all kinds of strange, right? There's a bug in here, sorry. So then we're starting to be like, well, maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe it was the wrong band member they were talking about. I don't know. So it got into the point where I was like, so the reality is, number one, at best, this man is cheating on his wife and leaving his toddler to fly to some random small town in Texas to get some strange. Okay. Or this person I knew from high school is psychotic and crazy and lying and making something up. And I started thinking about our relationship when we were kids. And I was like, this is actually not off brand. And so then I was like, well, maybe, I'm trying to make excuses. Because who would do that? Who would make up a fucking lie that grandiose to a person they haven't seen in 15 years while her and her kids were in a grocery store parking lot? Why would you do that? So me and my friends start getting scared because if this is the right guy, he's obviously not going to do that. If there's a 1% chance that all this is true, there's a 1% chance that all this is true and they are not lying. But I asked them in the parking lot, I was like, are y'all casual? Is it like a summer fling? Are y'all exclusive? Like, what's going on? And they were like, well, I don't know. I hope that I am. I hope so. But we're going to talk more about it whenever they get here and blah, blah, blah. But it was very, very odd. All of that was very, very odd. And I asked the original reason I called my friend, besides her like CIA, FBI, fucking bloodhound skills, was that I was like, what do you think? Like, am I just being too autistic? Like, that person just grabbed me in a parking lot to brag. And if this is all a lie, then that person grabbed me in a parking lot and tried to claim that their life was like way better than mine by sleeping with some niche guy in a band that I don't give a flying fuck about. But I was like, maybe it was the wrong person because they were like, well, you know this band blank. And I was like, yeah, I know of them. Like, I don't listen to them. And they're like, well, the singer left and then the bassist became the singer. And I've been seeing that person. So what if, I don't know. I don't know. Now this shit is so fucking crazy that it has me second guessing. I had to go look the guy up again. And I'm like, no, that's the same age that they said that he was. And so there's no way that person was in Texas last night because they were in Virginia last night. And so yeah, this person just straight up fucking lied to me. What the fuck? It's the same lore that they said. And so yeah, and I don't doubt my friend's skills because she ended up finding his Instagram and his personal Facebook page and his wife's personal Facebook. Like, I don't doubt her skills, okay? And now you're probably like, "Girl, that's fucking crazy." Well, excuse me. I was just trying to sort out. I was just trying to sort out, like, what do you think? Like, for my initial thing was like, do you think they were just trying to like brag and like they were being mean? Like that was literally why I asked my husband and I asked my friend. I was like, "Hey, do you think they were trying to be mean to me by just like trying to brag? Because why would you didn't ask how are you doing, what is going on, kind of thing." It was just like, I have to tell you something. I am blah 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 blah. But then it didn't make sense because the day that they were supposed that person, the band member, was supposed to be sleeping with my friend from high school or whatever at their house. The band was in Virginia. So how could they be two places out? And obviously the band's not going to be in Virginia without the lead singer. So there was like a fucking laundry list of confusion. And all I wanted to ask was that, hey, is this person being mean to me? Like, was it like an interaction? Like, should I just really not indulge in this person's false kindness? And it turned into like a, oh my God, girl, I think she's fucking crazy. She made all this up. He's not coming down. It's probably not even him. He has a wife. He has kids. And he's gonna come get some strange booty a couple of days before he goes on tour? Some mid-tier booty in Texas? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. So that whole interaction really fucked me up. And then, like, it was just the weirdest shit because I was like, I don't really know this person. I knew them in high school. I didn't really know them in high school. We were friends and, like, I would stay over at their house, blah, 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 right? But, like, this was some top tier fuckery. It went from, oh, yeah, well, she's like, apparently been seeing this guy, but do you think that, I was like, do you think that this whole interaction, I wanted a breakdown of the interaction. Because that's what I do. I want to be like, so can we just, that's what I called her. I called my friend. I was like, can we hash out these details? I'm going to give you non biased and I want you to tell me, what do you think about it? But while I was telling my friend these details, she was plugging them into her stuff and being like, who's the guy? Is he married? Oh, okay, so he is married. Oh, cool. So he has a baby. He has a brand new baby. And he's coming out. Where? It got to the point where my friend was like, I'm gonna private message his wife and be like, you better check your man's location because he's down here getting some strange ass in South Texas. And I was like, girl, wait. Because, like, there is a possibility that this person who approached me in this parking lot was just fucking insane and made this up to make their life look majestic. There's a possibility. And that's whenever it started like collapsing, the interaction started collapsing. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And that's so stupid. But my friend was like, why does this keep happening to you? I was like, girl, I don't know. But if I knew what it was, I would buy a specific deodorant to stop these people from fucking finding my ass. And it was so off putting because it was a new moon, it was sunset. They approached me from, they approached me from the fucking east. It was scary. It was so fucking weird. And I'm weird, but I don't go and lie. I don't go to people in a parking lot and make up some grandiose lie that is almost believable. And then so we toyed with the idea of like, what if this was a lie? All of this is a lie. Or they really think that this is going to happen and it's not. And like, it's a man, we started spooking ourselves out. We started spooking ourselves out. What if was like, or what if they're getting catfished? And what if someone shows up to their door and kills them? What like we started going off all these what ifs. Oh my god. It was so what do you guys think? What do you guys think of that interaction? Okay. I told you how it was. I was with my kids, two of my children. I only have two, but two of my two kids. We had multiple shopping carts. I pull up to my car, approaching from the east at sunset. On a new moon comes a person I haven't seen in 15 fucking years. And their first thing, they ask me if I know this band. I say yes. And they say that they're sleeping with the bassist slash singer, and or they're going to he's going to come down tomorrow, the day after the new moon, and they're going to cook him food and blah blah blah. And oh, he's allegedly diabetic and blah blah blah. And she's got all these details about this guy's life, and I'm starting to think like, okay, so that's believable. Like it's believe I had no reason to not believe that. I don't care. And I was like, well, good for her and good for him. Like if she's into that and he's into that, good for them. But then it became, well, he's married. Well, he's got a kid. Well, technically, he's supposed to be in Virginia right now. Well, I don't know if he's diabetic if he's posting that on his Instagram. Well, it was like, girl, we started like we started pulling at those threads of information I was given in a parking lot. This is some crackhead shit, bitch. I don't do drugs. Can I have a break? Can I have a break? This is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. And I was like, that was a waste of my fucking time. Me and my friend stayed on the phone for about 40 minutes, figuring this shit out. Figured out this could be a fucking delusional lie and that this person could be fucking dangerous. So what I do, I get on Facebook and I block them just in case. Because what if they are crazy and they're the type of crazy, which hey, okay. What if they're the kind of crazy? They look at a picture and they make up this whole. I feel like yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Ah, and so I was like, I don't need them looking at pictures of my kids or me or my husband, and thinking that oh wow, those are actually my kids or like something, like how deep does this run? How gone are they? Kind of thing. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't want to know. It's none of my business. I'm not a doctor or a professional. I am a reverend, so I do get drive-by confessionals every once in a while. But I don't think this is my profession to be approached from the east by a strange face from a distant time talking about something that may or may not be. Fuck. The fuck? Anyways, that was crazy. That was crazy. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, that's okay. So that's story time. So it was like credit card hacking, weird fuck ass interactions. Oh, and then I had a really bad string of luck because I gave him a hug. It's a southern thing to hug people, and I guess I should start dapping people up because I gave him a hug, and after that, I started experiencing heart palpitations, which I don't experience, and like it felt like a butterfly was in my chest. Like my heart would, my I had a watch on to monitor my heart rate, and it was fluctuating at very odd rhythms, palpitating. And I was very confused because what the fuck do you mean out of nowhere this shit happens after I interact with that person? That's fucking weird. Like I was triggered or it was a warning or something was going on. My body had a negative reaction for a couple of days. I had to sleep longer hours. I was sleeping after a long day of sleep because I slept all day. And then I slept more and I couldn't breathe. I was having like panic attacks. It was all very peculiar. It was all very strange. And I didn't quite understand it. And then I was like, well, you're a witch. Um, Start cleansing the house, cleanse yourself, cleanse the kids, cleanse the car, cleanse the doorway, start doing what you do. Light candles, reverse things, send them back, whatever. Cut cords, blah, blah, blah. Do your whole list of shit you've been studying and working on your whole life. Stop pretending to be normal because you're not. You have these fuck ass interactions all the time. You deal with all these fuck ass people. You're a fucking curandera. You fucking know about Santeria. You know about all the gods and goddesses and stories of this and that and the other. You're not a normal person. Normal people don't know this shit, okay? You've been initiated into ways that are seen and not seen, and so you have to just fucking use what you know and stop pretending to be someone you're not. And I was like, got it. I've been clocked. Okay, I've been fucking clocked. I light a candle. I do all my shit. I do all my reversal shit, right? The palpitations stop. Or they become very minimal. I can function again. I do like cord cuttings. I order some more supplies, some Chinese floor wash, cord cutting stuff, voodoo hoodoo kind of shit. Okay, witchcraft stuff. All right. I need to make some more indigo water. I have some camphor. I was burning that in copal, sage, doing my stuff, asking my ancestors, bringing in fresh herbs and flowers into the house, cooking hearty meals, like just replenishing the energy of the house, fixing what was taken or dismantled, or how do you say, like imbalanced. Oh, guys, that was fucking creepy. Like it was just such a creepy. It was creepy, creepy, creepy. And then today, my corset went missing. Jim Bob down the street probably has it on, and he's like, "Damn it, goodbye horses." What are you, like a size 14? Oh, I know. I fucking know that beautiful corset I ordered is being worn by some big motherfucking redneck man in his feelings. Amen. 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 And I'm all for it. All right. I want you to express yourself. Enjoy that corset, Jim Bob, because goodbye horses. I I love Silence of the Lambs. That's like one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I love that song. I love that. I love it. I love it. But like at the same time, like maybe okay, so let's go into that. Maybe they needed that. Maybe someone else needed a corset. Just to like maybe that was a way for them to free themselves. Maybe that was the key to fit in the lock. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's a good thing. Let's spin this into a good thing, right? Because I like doing that. That's fine. Whatever. Delusional in a good way, baby. Maybe. But yeah, it still pissed me off. So I will be getting like in a couple of days, even though, yeah, whatever. That was an inconvenience on top of a stack full of shit, right? Crazy ass fuck ass interactions. So annoying. It's so annoying, but whatever. What the fuck ever. What can you really do? And then my friend, she was like, well, maybe start veiling your head when you go out of the house. And I was like, that's a good idea, actually. Veiling is a way to keep spirits from attaching to yourself. Like whenever you are very spiritually open, it's mods to a fucking flame, baby girl. And you can't shut it off. And I've tried. You can't shut it off. Once you're there, you're there. You know, we're here, we're queer, kind of shit. Like boom, bam, biscuit. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it is what it is, and it is what it ain't. Okay. So, anyways, I was just like, "Hi, that's kind of fucking weird." So you're probably lying. That whole interaction was probably some grandeur delusion, and I'm very scared. And if it's not, then yeah, he's cheating on his wife with some mid-tier strange in South Texas. Like, and then yeah, you know, well, fuck it. I'll let my friend anonymously message the wife and be like, check your husband. But we didn't want to be like that. I was like, girl, no, stop. I had to tell girl, stop, because she's a girl's girl. I love that. I love that. Hell yeah. Anonymously message the wives. Yes, ma'am. Amen. Yes, we will. But here's the thing. What if she was crazy and he wasn't? So that just kind of ruins a marriage. Like, what is this crazy bitch? And then his marriage is ruined. Then he is single. And then guess what? Slim pickings for whoever. So it's, you know what I mean? It's a fine balance between dealing with someone in the middle of a psychotic episode, possibly reality and fiction, and what the fuck ever. Uh, so we went to the trails a couple of days ago, whatever. And that was a lot of fun. I actually went with my friend who we did the whole investigating with. Stupid fuck ass interview, whatever. This whole fuck ass interaction. And we went to the trails, and we went off these trails into like the woods, like into the woods, and we saw a river, very large river. And I initially went there because I wanted to see if these woods were like segregated and separated by water or bridges. And I was correct in assuming that they were. And so I was like, of course. Okay, so this area is separated by water and bridges. Whatever's here is kind of locked here spiritually. Like spirits, there's a mythos that spirits, it's difficult for them to cross water, but there's also water spirits. And so it's a very interesting thing. I don't know why it is the way it is, but crossing, like in old Irish folk tales and Scottish folk tales, you're safe if you cross a stream or a bridge or something of that nature. It's like one of the motifs within these stories of dealing with beings from the other world. So we go to the river, and we're looking for a specific tree. People dub it the makeout tree, the pot smoking tree. You know, there's like the Doors lyrics on it. You know, hippies come out there and smoke a joint or whatever, hide from their parents, drink a twisted tea, underage drinking, whatever. But it's by a very large, very fast river. Ah, gators, baby. Alligators. Hi, South Texas. Swamp. The fuck kind of pizza? I would not be getting high next to a river because hi, you're gonna go in the river. What the fuck? Anyways, so we don't find the tree, but we find other trees that have been graffitied with like things. And I go deeper into the forest area, and other people don't want to. My friend's wearing a dress, and I'm wearing a dress too, but hers is ripping and mine's still holding its constitution, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, well, honey, my husband was with us. I was like, can you watch the kids? We had a whole group of little kids that my kids and her kids, right? And so we were out in the forest near a river in this like island on this island. And the forest is an island now that I realize it's cut off by rivers. It's technically an island, right? And I get this feeling to go further. I see a gigantic downed sycamore tree. It's flat, so you could like crawl up it or whatever. And I pass over it. It that becomes like a bridge. I pass over it. The kids go back with their dad and their mom, whatever. And I go a little further into the forest, and I see a large tree and a bunch of cans at the bottom of it. Teenagers obviously out there drinking. It's like one or two beer cans, kind of shitty, whatever. Like to have, to dump the evidence. I get it, whatever. But the sun is coming through the trees in such a marvelous way, and I see this like hole into the a brush, like something where like a little den of brush, like of plants, making like a hole. And so I see through the hole, and inside I see bright blue lights, like very bright blue, like bulbs. And I go, huh, interesting. And then I keep going further, but then I start getting, they're calling my name. And I kind of wanted to go into where I saw those bright lights. I was like, well, maybe they weren't bright like a will o' the wisp. They were more muted, like muted bulbs. Not like will o' the wisps are like when I've seen them, they're very tiny, very, very, very bright blue electrical like pulses through the air that come in and out. And they're really cool. If you ever get to see a will o' the wisp in real life, they're magnificent. They're magnificent. And science can explain them away as like decomposition gas, dead animal creature gas, dead organic gas, bald, whatever, a little flame. But um, yeah, they weren't like a will. They were more like orbs, gigantic, kind of clear blue orbs, and they were like flashing. And I was like, that's weird because like the way that the light was coming through the trees, it makes everything yellow. So why was that blue? Now I guess you could argue because the leaves are green with the yellow light and the green. Maybe there was some blue coloring going on. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not a doctor, not a scientist, not a plantologist, not a botanist, but I do study folklore. And so I was like, I really wanted to go in there into that little like place, but I get called. I get called back away from where I'm doing. And so I run through the woods, through the path. So I'm getting grabbed by all kinds of vines that have thorns on it and like, whatever. But I'm going fast enough to where I could get back to my family. But I am always so adventurous, so I go further than anybody else. I go higher. I want to see more. I want like that's the kind of energy I have. I gotta see more. I gotta go further. I gotta go deeper into that like more dangerous area. I have to go alone if I can because I'm brave and courageous, and that's honestly why I get a lot of battle scars is because I'm so brave and courageous. And then by the time we get out and we get up back to the trail, to the real human trail where there's like concrete, it's like a concrete trail where people run back and forth and bike and whatever. We were off road in the fucking woods. Um, Me and my friend were bleeding. Our legs are cut up and everything. And so I make the joke that, oh, it's a sacrifice to the forest for us being there. We're blood bound to this area, blah, 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 whatever, or whatever. But like, it was kind of like, I was joking, but at the same time, I was like, that could be something. That's actually quite interesting. That the blood, like we bled through the forest because the thorns reached up and grabbed us. But on my way back up to the main trail, before I found out about the blood, I intuitively get this feeling, and I look down, and there's a gigantic crow feather, and I'll put a picture here. There's a gigantic crow feather, and I was so excited because I had the day before I was talking about like, or the day of, I posted that video with the crows in the background. The last video I had, the previous video to this. There was you could hear them in the background, like just away and getting closer. And then that same day, I found a crow feather, and so it was like all tied together, and it was just so cool and magnificent. And I was really grateful because it was one of those beautiful things. And then the day after that, I think was the day that the weird experience happened with that person in the parking lot. And yeah, so it was just like a lot of fuck assery. But like the crow, it was cool. It was like my life was being pushed into a different area and I could feel it. And also the universe around me was also responding to it. And it wasn't like a made up thing. It was something that was actually real because it was a crow feather that was I found like, and then there was crows in the background, and like through me taking videos and doing vlogs, it's catching real interactions with things happening, coincidences, whatever, right? So I was like, that's pretty cool. But I also know there's a fine line between mental illness and actual like spiritual things. Spiritual psychosis is a very legitimate issue. And because of the rise of TikTok, I think that it's more prevalent, and a more harsher reality. So, I do have some friends who think everything is psychosis, but finding a feather after hearing crows in my video that I made that same day and blah blah blah, it was just all very, very synchronistic in a way. And I don't let that drive me over the edge, but I use it to boost my feathers and my wings so I could go forward into whatever this unknown is. And it's very exciting. I really do love that area. But we went over a bridge. We went over a bridge and then past a do not enter area. And it was so funny because there was a sign that was Satan will rise again and like all this Satan stuff. And of course, another word for like Satan is like the dark man, the one at the crossroads, blah, 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 blah. And like, um, so it was just really cool. It was really cool to kind of like have all these interactions. In America, we call him Satan, but in other places in the world, he's the Lord of the Underworld. And so that's got more of a like a romantic, less Christian um to it, no feeling to it. And it's to me that's got more weight to it or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened. So anyways, after all that interaction, we ended up finding that we bled in the forest, and I was like, that's funny, that's cool, whatever. And then I found the crow feather. I did bring bread and butter out, so like under the bridge I put like bread, and I put bread in certain spots where we found lots of mushrooms. I put bread, and then at the end of it we ate some bread too, and then I gave some bread to some ants that were in a crack, and then all of a sudden there was 50,000 of them out of the crack, and that was super weird. But yeah, that was interesting. So I did end up getting some intel on the area. It is an island. It is surrounded by bridges and water, and therefore, through folklore, that would be like a locked place, a place that is locked into whatever. And during the winter solstice, ironically, there's a path where the sun goes directly through, and you could see it over the bridge. It's very, very interesting. It's like a little Newgrange, but here in South Texas. But it is technically man-made. But I think that some of the older people must have done that on purpose, or if not, maybe the universe worked through them to make it happen. But it is very exciting either way to have these places here, but you have to uncover them. Like they're all veiled and hidden, and hikers are just like, oh, it's the trails. We just go to the trails and we start running and we go on our bikes or whatever, and we get all juicy and beefy and whatever. So I'm like, cool. But as somebody who's like into folklore and every fucking thing you can imagine spiritually, there are things that make your ears perk up, Percocet. They make your ears perk up, and then you're like, wait a minute, hmm, and the boxes start getting checked and all this stuff. So yeah. So I had a lot of weird interactions. I got a candle lit. I'm like cleansing and going forward and everything, but please be careful and mindful of the interactions you have with people from high school or people you meet in a parking lot because they could be lying. Or they could be truthing, and the guy could just be a piece of shit. They could be truthing. But it was weird because the day he was supposed to be there, his entire band was in Virginia. So it just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. I mean, of course, there's a 1% that they could have been telling the truth, but it just didn't make sense. It wasn't adding up. The math wasn't mathing. And then also, like I said, it could have been they were getting catfished. And, they were getting catfished. And so someone could have showed up to their door and killed them or something. I don't know. I love these. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Tell me what you think. And if I'm a shitty person, tell me that too. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Sure, sure. But yeah, that was really weird. And I'm a weird person, so for it to be weird to me, very weird. Very strange. That is very peculiar. It's very peculiar. And I don't really enjoy those parts of my life, but they happen a lot. So what the fuck can you do? I don't know. Well, with the punches. Meditate. I don't know. Transcendental meditation twice a day for 20 minutes a day. I don't know. Something David Lynch says. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later. I gotta go edit this fucking shit. And yeah, okay. Goodbye.